And it's India versus South Africa in the World Cup final. Guys, we are going to have a new champion today. India, this whole week, the people of India, they've been predicting this. There was a belief over the entire country that India was going to do this, that you were going to slay the giants in this tournament. Australia, not the best game for Australia, but you did that. You put that pressure on them. I mean, where to begin? You know, I feel Australia, they've just been... Look, the same thing happened against South Africa in the semi-final in the T20 World Cup. Do you remember that? The same thing happened. They are not impossible to defeat. It's knockout cricket, guys. Anything can happen. But India still had to go out and actually do it. And Australia looked as though they were going to get 350 plus. Against the bigger teams, Charlotte Edwards spoke about this yesterday. Against the bigger teams, right, you need to put an entire game together. But that counts for Australia as well. I said yesterday, India's power hitting at the back is right up there with South Africa's, you know, going at over 8 and over, which always meant with Dew coming in that Australia on that wicket, they probably needed over 350. They looked as though they were going to get there very easily, but then India's bowlers came and they really pulled it back. I also thought that the spinners came into it a lot more in the end when the ball got a little bit softer. Just from India's standpoint, perspective, the character shown to be able to pull it back, to not give up and say, oh, you know what, it's a flat wicket, you know, just let them get to those runs. You fought every ball that you bowled. If you even think about the gifts that you gave Australia, you know, a lot of extras, also a lot of overthrows, and you still managed to beat them. This was written in the stars. This was what the cricket gods had planned to happen, right? Then we go to the batting. Now, I said this in the WPL. I've been saying this for quite a while about Jemima Rodriguez. She is an out-and-out number 3 for me. So I do not understand why more teams, you know, have not been picking her at number 3. I think she's an absolute game changer. She's shown that, yes, she almost made me cry because that was incredibly emotional, that interview. But she's shown that she's got the character to hold an innings together, to build an innings, to accelerate at the right moments. Today, her head was so screwed on. Yes, she got lucky, but you create your own luck in this game. The way that she played, of course she deserved to have a little bit of luck along the way. Harmanpreet Kaur, she did this before against Australia in a semi-final, so I wasn't even surprised. I pegged her as somebody who could possibly hit a century today, and she almost got there. Guys, it was just incredible. And then Deepti Sharma, she looked as though she was going to come out and finish the game. That run out, I did feel that a run out was coming. Just the way that those two were running in between the wickets. South Africa also sometimes, they just give me that feeling. So that's going to be something that India would want to look at. But I'm just so excited that we're going to be having a new champion, that it's either going to be South Africa or it's going to be India. I think if people asked me who I would have wanted to face in the final, I think a lot of people would have thought that I would say India, because maybe people somehow think that, oh, India is going to be easier than Australia. But the thing is that crowd today as well, that pressure cooker that Australia was in, those drop catches, they weren't half chances, they were full chances. And it was, Ian Bishop even said, Talia McGrath, she was catching air. You know, she was right there, and she didn't. Alyssa Healy's drop catch as well. You just do not see that sort of thing from a team like Australia, but that's what the crowd does. That's what the pressure cooker does. So absolutely remarkable. In South Africa, you know, we've got our work cut out for ourselves on Sunday. We're going to have to try and stay cool, try and keep a cool head, because it's not going to be easy. I don't know if there's some sort of powder, you know, that powder that they use in the, not that powder, come on now guys, the powder that you put on your hands during the Olympics. You know, Tasman Brits, she almost went to the Olympics for South Africa, but then came into a car crash. Can she maybe find this powder, put it on the hand so that the ball doesn't slip out, because you start stressing, then it's the dew, then it's the humidity. And we're not used to that type of weather, us from the southern hemisphere, right? Because South Africa and Australia, we've got the exact same weather conditions throughout the year, all year. So that's going to be a big factor. I think the toss is big, but I think what we've seen here is that setting a target, chasing a target, I think both of those things are very possible. Australia had the opportunity to go close to 400. They didn't take it, but that was also partly because of India's bowling at the back there. But it's definitely possible to defend a total, but also to chase. So I like the fact that those conditions, it's going to feel quite even Stevens for both teams. I'm very excited. You all know where I'm going. Obviously, I'm going South Africa. I know it's going to be South Africa versus 1.4 billion people. But guys, what makes me the happiest is that we're going to have a new bloody champion.